All right, good afternoon, everybody. Really just wanted to start out today and make sure I circle back what an unbelievable atmosphere it was yesterday at US Bank Stadium, and December football, an NFC team competing to find their way in the playoffs just like we are. I thought our fans from the very beginning, the first time I walked out, you could just feel the energy in the building. Thought they were just fantastic all day long, and we're going to need that again. Divisional opponent this week, Monday Night Football. Very, very excited for what lies ahead for our team. Got to have a good week of preparation. Thought our team really, a complete team feel to how we won that game yesterday with the turnovers, being forced by our defense and won by special teams, and then obviously Sam leading the charge on offense with Jets and J.A. Pretty spectacular day. Aaron Jones getting in the end zone late there. So there was just a lot of really positive things to pull from that game. And as always, a lot of things we can identify to continue kind of shaping our team to be the best, version of our team we can be. And it's going to be important here down the stretch as we continue to take on, not only NFC opponents, but 3 out of 4 in the division. No real updates on Steph Gilmore or Pat Jones. We'll just see how they're both doing really well. Both got some good work in today, and we'll see how the week progresses with the extra day, which I think will allow us to get a good day of padded work early in the week. So then we can kind of hone in on the game plan as we get closer. But I do want to make sure we take advantage of the extra day coming off of a home game. So it should be a good week of prep for us.
Kevin, was there anything that stood out to you when you reviewed the tape from Sam's day that maybe you didn't see or realize in real time?
Couple throws that, from my vantage point, maybe looked a little bit, more clean or easier than they probably actually were, and it just the pitch and catch feel between, really, Sam and Justin and Jordan was pretty spectacular. There was some high level stuff going on in rhythm, some kind of sneaky hidden plays here and there to either convert third downs, which we were pretty good on throughout the day, or even on, I know we didn't end up converting the field goal, but we set ourselves back on the first drive of the second half and end up getting a 15-yarder to Justin. Sam kind of protects him with the throw. Justin's right where we need him to be, and we at least gave Will a swing at that thing. So just little things like that, which is all good football when you think about all of those things transpired and that kind of production happened with no turnovers. And a couple plays there, either, Jay down by the goal line or Sam in the pocket when they allowed that return. That could have gone either way, so we got to continue to, identify those plays regardless of the result, and we can't forget about those things and keep making sure we're coaching the right things for all 11 guys.
Kevin, both JJ and Aston seem like they really excel at tracking the ball on those deep throws and being able to adjust. What all goes into that?
I think it's I would love to sit here and say that it's it's something you can coach up, and you do. Keenan does a great job drilling different things, but I think ball tracking from a receiver, especially down the field, that is a natural gifted thing that just, things are happening so fast, guys are moving so fast to be able to, the real elite ones, like I think both those guys are, and when it comes to that, they're tracking the laces of the ball, the revolution. The way the game slows down when the ball's in the air, the way they're able to track and understand exactly how to either pace themselves down and like Jordan did on his first touchdown and come back and get the football, play through contact, like he did on, his long kind of post he had in the second half. And Justin's clearly, thinking back to some of the plays he's made down the field over the last almost 3 years now. I think it's something that those guys are really special for, and it's something that I've always looked at. I can remember, a guy that always comes to mind is Deshaun Jackson. When, I was coaching against him in the division when I was in the NFC East for that, a couple years there. I just remember being like, that's the trait. Not only a guy that can fly, but a guy that can track the ball and really effortlessly make something that's very, very difficult look easy. And there's been great examples of it, but I think we got 2 of them right here in our building for sure.
And kind of to that extent, on the other side of the ball, how much of what Byron Murphy does tracking the ball is something you can teach a corner, or how unique is that at that position?
Yeah, I always joke with those guys. Most of the time, that room is filled with former, high school receivers that think that they could easily do what Jets and JA do. So I make sure to never miss an op to let them know that there's a reason why they're in the DB room. But Murph is one of those guys that I think has a really plus ball skills, and it matters when you think about some of the interceptions he's had. Yesterday is a great example. To be able to track that receiver-like and essentially catch it one-handed. Would have loved for him not to be at the yard and a half from the goal line when he did it, but it's definitely something that makes him somebody you cannot just throw the ball up for grabs. He got us one time my last year in LA. We actually were trying to throw a deep ball to Deshaun Jackson, I believe at the time. And he tracked it as if he was, the receiver with an elite ball tracker like Deshaun going for it as well. Always stuck with me, his ability to make a play on the football, and it's been huge 6 times this year.
Can you guys been pretty disciplined in keeping, in the here and now this whole season, and I'm wondering, to what extent you're kind of reiterating that to him, or is that just him not, being willing or interested in talking or thinking about long-term implications of what he's done?
Yeah, we've a lot of our dialogue from the very beginning has been about both him and I. I've kind of equated it to, there's things that I'm trying to improve on in my role here that I'm going to be doing on a daily basis and really, trying to be at my best for the organization, and let's do this together. And I know you're going to be on that same journey as a quarterback. He's playing so well. He's so rooted in the moment, and really his process of I could probably tell you where he is right now in the building, even on a day like today. I mean, he has just been so demanding of himself, but yet I also love the way he's hasn't put the weight of the world on his shoulders. And I think he can do that because of the way he's worked and prepared and been coached by Grant and Josh on a daily basis, and with those other quarterbacks in the room. I think he would be the first one to tell you those guys have been incredibly supportive of him. But I also think it's important that we're not talking about it too much, where if every single day I'm telling him, hey, let's just focus on today, don't worry about it, then it becomes maybe I should focus on more than just today. That's how I would handle it if I was him. So I think I just can't say enough about how Sam's handled himself, thinking back to the different kind of moments throughout his journey this year, and how he's maximized every single op coming out of what's been a very successful season, chasing improvement, and I think we saw it on full display yesterday.
What's working with Josh McCown been like from maybe what you thought when you guys brought him in as the quarterback's coach?
Yeah, my number one goal of bringing Josh here was to have a guy really in that role with those quarterbacks that could totally be, kind of that equalizer for us as far as the temperament of the quarterback, the understanding of situations in the game, how, not every snap is created equal as far as what you're going to do with that football in your hands. And it's allowed me to feel total trust that, all those little things are being communicated, and it's allowed me to be better for the team in a lot of ways by, knowing those things are being reinforced. And then my dialogue with Josh, not only throughout the week, how we're preparing the quarterbacks, and then how, those 3 hours go on Sunday has been fantastic. I think he's done a wonderful job, and I think Grant Udinski and Josh together, I don't know if there's a better 2 coaches you can have as far as, what makes each guy really special, working together, and how close they are, and how, I think it's Josh's leadership running the room, and I think it's Grant's ownership of information and the work he puts in that gives these quarterbacks high levels of readiness to go play.
Coach, I know that you and Sam have both emphasized not getting too high or too low, which definitely makes sense. I was just wondering though, there was a point in towards the end of the game yesterday where they showed Sam on the video board on the sideline.
Yeah.
He was just really hyped, and obviously the crowd built off of that. Just, I guess, in a moment like that, what do you appreciate about just seeing him having so much fun, but then also just kind of building off the crowd and vice versa?
Yeah, I thought that was a really, really cool moment, between that and Jets and JA, I got really nervous they might show me and how I'm going to totally kill the mood right now. So I thought it was a really cool moment, and just once again, that's what I'm kind of connecting with our fans. Like it's the best venue in sports. It's an unbelievable place, but like I guess you would call it like intimacy of our fan base and our players. Like we really value that. And you felt it in that moment. And the never too high or too low thing, that's when he's between the white lines. That's when but shoot, on the sideline after that kind of performance, I'm just glad he had a towel to wave, because I don't know what he would have done if he didn't have a prop there. But really, it was a really special, cool moment for sure.
Kevin, with Gabe Murphy, I'm just curious, what did you guys see from him right away to
Yeah.
in such a big role here?
Yeah, I think he's just a little different from a standpoint of, you saw him inside a little bit more. You saw him in some different spots. He's really versatile. We've kind of framed his role in many ways, after Andrew Van Ginkel's role, where, you can see DT and, is a little bit more in that Jonathan Grenard framework, but all those guys are so versatile. When you just, Pat Jones has been a huge part of our team. So when you can prepare Gabe to maybe assume a little bit more of even that role, splitting some of those duties with DT, keeping all those guys fresh, I think it was really a performance I've been waiting for, just because it's been a long road for Gabe, coming off of a really impactful training camp. And, I thought Dallas Turner was really, active, and you felt the athleticism and the juice. A couple plays he ran down, physicality. So I was really encouraged by both those guys yesterday.
Kevin, where do you think Jordan has come the furthest as far as becoming a complete receiver?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, just he's not the biggest guy in the world, but he's really learned, how to play bigger, play stronger, play through contact, because that's what this league seems to be, that beyond 5-yard contact rule. Some games it exists more than others, and he's had to play through that at times, especially with how Justin gets defended. Normally the player that's defending Jordan, or even if it's within zone coverages, these guys know that they're being told this guy will be wide open if you don't get your hands on him, and that's couldn't be more true. But now he's actually proven that he can play through that contact and play down the field through contact. I mean, the catch against Chicago, I know he was mad at himself for not catching both the deep balls through contact last night. He drew a penalty on one and caught the other. But I just think that's, all part of what we projected with Jordan, knowing he had elite quickness, separation skills, fantastic hands, and ball tracking like we talked about. As he's gotten stronger, he's put a lot of work in, and it's showing up with his play style, even how he blocks. I mean, he's even on the 98-yard drive, they brought a safety pressure. He had kind of over-motioned on a play, and he's able to still, I think it was either Simmons or Bates, gets him blocked, and Cam bounces it and runs for, a first down. And that's, a guy that's, those two safeties are two of the better safeties in football, both in the run and pass, and Jordan's getting the job done. So it shows up all over the tape for Jordan.
Kevin, going back to that moment with Sam, just like what's it been like for you to watch the fan base really embrace him?
Yeah, it's been awesome. It's been, there was clearly going to be, when we brought Sam here, some enthusiasm of what he could become, and we were certainly confident in that if we just, coached as hard as we could and poured into the player, knowing that he's talented, knowing that he's athletic, he's smart, he's got a great way about him. I envisioned, a moment like that, maybe not, to that extent, but you envision that when your goal is set, you set out to, achieve a goal together, working side by side with players. And when you start to see them truly realize that, it's a cool moment. That's why we do this. That's why I love this profession, and you know, I love winning more than anything, but it's those, I consider those little wins the reason why we do this job. And Sam's a great example of it. I love getting a chance to, you know, just watch him every single day on this journey that he's on here in Minnesota, and just relishing in the op, and that's what he's done. He's been great.
Is there anything that was lacking when you were a player that, in terms of just quarterback specifically, that you said, if I get to be a coach, I'm going to make sure I do that? Around the league, people are calling you the quarterback whisperer. So is there something specifically you said, I'm going to make sure that this is done for who I coach?
Don, there's a clock over your shoulder there. So we may, I don't know if you guys have enough time for that answer, but here's what I do know. I just think that, you know, throughout my own personal journey, I just tried to always be hyper aware of whether it was something I was able to do or not, learning the right way to do things, learning, you know, taking stock in what helped not only make my job easier to attempt to do something that's really difficult, but watch other guys do it and watch them go through their journeys and try to support them. Maybe if I wasn't, you know, playing or competing to start or competing to bat, whatever it was. And then I got into coaching and felt a real-time way of, like, even the smallest little things you can help with can sometimes be the difference between a team having success or not. And I was coaching Josh McCown my first year in Cleveland, believe it or not. And having him as a player who was older than me at the time tell me, like, dude, you're really helping me. This is awesome. Coach, I want you to coach me hard. And that kind of gave me the green light to, you know, pour everything I have into this job and do it for the betterment of others. And like I said, there's a lot of things that I wish I would have done differently as a player. I wish I would have had more awareness on to actually do things differently in the moment, both mentally and physically. But I do feel an incredible connection to the position because of the fortunate opportunities I've been around players, coaches, my own journey, other people's journeys, and just tried to always evaluate that to help myself get better in not only this role as a head coach, but play caller, quarterback coach, just, you know, a guy that helps try to have guys play at their best. Thank you.